Hi everyone, welcome to Studio Jake. I of course am your host Jacob Airy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I've got two upcoming films I want to talk about. Of course, we all don't know if they're going to be delayed like everything else with all this coronavirus panic, but hopefully we'll get some new information about them soon. But it is Jurassic World 3 and Black Panther 2 we're going to be talking about, and I'm going to give you a spoiler warning right now. There could be spoilers to the first Black Panther movie as well as the MCU at large, and there could be spoilers for Jurassic World. And why haven't you seen those movies yet anyway? Get on that. Pause this, watch those movies, and then come back and finish this podcast. So you've been warned. It was a fair warning. With that in mind, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Studio Jake. Be sure to hit the bell and ring all notifications because YouTube does this weird thing where they sort of curate the subscription feed. I don't know why they do that. It's really weird. Also on Facebook, like the page. It's author Jacob Airy. Turn on all notifications for there as well. And don't forget to like the video and share it out to all your platforms so your friends can see my wonderful thumbnails that I make and also can hear about the latest in pop culture and movies. With that in mind, sit back, relax. You have been spoiler warned, and welcome to Studio Jake. First up, we have Black Panther 2. Now, we don't know for sure if they're going to go this route. They could call it something else. Forever, people thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to, the sequel was just going to be called Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and they, for some reason, slap volume on there, so it's Volume 2 and all that jazz. But Winston Duke, who played M'Baku in Black Panther, he was the tribal leader in the mountains who challenged T'Challa for the throne to rule all of Wakanda. For those of you unfamiliar, Wakanda is built up of several tribes and then a king who is central and rules all over those tribes. And T'Challa was the king as his father was his father T'Chaka. But the mountain tribe M'Baku, who is based actually on an Avengers villain, his tribe is isolationist. They never come to any of the council meetings and so on. In fact, there is actually a fan theory that, and I believe even a leaked promotional trailer, that M'Baku had actually taken over Wakanda in the absence of T'Challa during the years in between Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. However, I believe from what we're hearing about Black Panther 2, it's going to take place in the post Endgame world of the Avengers MCU, as we call it, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So this is what M'Baku said to the Hollywood Reporter. Now he mainly focuses on his character, but I thought it was interesting to hear what he thinks about it. So he told the Hollywood Reporter, this is Winston Duke, the actor who plays M'Baku, not a glimpse. We're just waiting to see where it goes. I've seen nothing, I've heard nothing, I haven't been told a thing. I just trust that they're going to invest in Baku and tell a really bold story. He continues, I shot with everyone. The raw footage was just so long with everyone that my stuff didn't make it in. I filmed so much fighting for it, and I was really bummed to not see any of it in the movie. I did so many fighting scenes in Endgame during that final battle where they're trying to keep the gauntlet away from Thanos. It was cool. Marvel knows what they're doing, and it all leads to the best product. So I am happy. I was just very disappointed that nobody got to see all the stuff I was doing. Now, one thing that's interesting about this character is in the comics, he is a straight villain. In fact, in Avengers Black Panther Quest, the animated series, in fact, in that series, he's a straight villain like he is. Now, they changed his code name. He had a villainous code name. I'm not going to say it here because I don't want to get censored, because now in this uber woke society where SJWs have control over everything, it's considered racially insensitive. I don't really know why, because they're comparing a character who's made and lives in Africa surrounded by jungle animals. They're saying that it's racist for some reason because SJWs are stupid and don't understand how different societies outside of their own little bubble in their parents' garage work. But anyway, I did like the evolution of M'Baku in Black Panther. I did think that I think they did a good job of transitioning from enemy to ally, especially since they had Michael B. Jordan, who brilliantly played Killmonger. He was just such a good villain for that movie. It's going to be hard to top. Now, there have been several rumors about Black Panther 2, and these are the two biggest ones. Is Doctor Doom is going to be the villain in the sequel, and that's how they're going to introduce Doctor Doom. So in the comic books, there actually is precedent for this. Doctor Doom is the Iron Fist ruler of a country called Latveria. Now, in Ultimates, they wanted to make him more realistic, so they actually made him in charge of Copenhagen for some reason. I don't get it, but in the comic books, he's the king. Well, he's a despot of this nation called Latveria. He rules it with an iron fist, but he keeps his people happy with the technology that he makes. Doctor Doom can control magic, and he has a really great array of technology weapons that are just incredibly powerful. So he has been a villain for all of the Marvel heroes, including Black Panther. Basically, he originally he was a Fantastic Four villain kind of exclusively. However, he would evolve because of his popularity. He would evolve to where you would see him in Spider-Man, and it wouldn't be Spider-Man teaming up with the Fantastic Four. It would just be Spider-Man. You would see him in Captain America. You would see him in the Avengers. Again, not teaming up. You would see him in the X-Men. I believe there's even a novelization of an X-Men arc that just has the X-Men fighting Doctor Doom, and there's no connection to the Fantastic Four or anything. Now, I have not read this, but I believe there's even a story arc where Wakanda and Latveria go to war. And I don't know if that's an out continuity story. Maybe someone could tell me in the comments below. I'm not really sure. But I believe there is precedent for Doctor Doom to fight Black Panther. I think this would be a good way to bring him in. Ryan Coogler is an amazing director. He's a fantastic director. I really believe he could do that kind of story arc justice if he was to introduce the Doctor Doom character into the MCU. I think he would be perfect for that. The key, though, is the casting. One of the big problems with the series with Chris Evans as the Human Torch was they casted, the guy's name escapes me for the moment, but he was one of the actors from Nip and Tuck, from FX, and he wasn't just an imposing figure like Doctor Doom is supposed to be. And same with the Fantastic Four remake that they did later on, where Michael B. Jordan started as the Human Torch. It was they had him appear. They casted some young actor no one had heard of, which you need to do for Doctor Doom. And yes, I am telling these film people what to do because they should listen to the fans. What they need to do for Doctor Doom is cast someone like from the WWE. So this really big, large, imposing person, very muscular. But then you need to have someone like, say, Jeremy Irons, the voice of Scar in the original Lion King. And he played Alfred in Batman vs. Superman because Zack Snyder doesn't know how to cast. And you need to get someone like that to voice this character, someone who has an imposing uh, figure and an imposing voice onto Doctor Doom. Now, the second rumor is that the Submariner, so Namor, he is going to be the villain. Now, this actually is the thing. Um, Prior to the events of Avengers vs. X-Men, Namor actually floods Wakanda and kills a lot of Wakandans, and Black Panther loses his mind as any good monarch would, and he challenges Namor, and he has to use like a specially designed weapon and armor, because obviously Namor is, according to the comics, he's as strong as the Hulk, he's as strong as Thor, he's in some cases stronger than Captain Marvel. I know, shock face for all you Brie Larson fanboys, but just a fact. He's an incredibly powerful, imposing figure, and at one point, he's even strong enough to fight like 5 Avengers at once because he's so powerful. Now, this is just strength-wise. Fun fact, Namor was actually the first superhero who could fly, although there's some debate over whether Shazam was actually first, but Namor was actually the first Marvel superhero, at least, to be able to fly without the aid of something. So, fun fact about that. And I would love to see this. In fact, there's a line in Black Panther that Killmonger says. I believe he says, "Every moment you breathe is mercy from me." There, that's actually a line from the Black Panther versus Namor, where Black Panther actually says that to Namor. So I would love to see this, either of those storylines in the movie. I think it would be fantastic, and I truly believe that Ryan Coogler would do story arcs like that justice. He's a fantastic director. Jurassic World 3, or as we now know the title, Jurassic World Dominion, is coming out soon. Hopefully, they have started filming, and Colin Trevorrow is returning to direct. Now, Jurassic World has kind of been like a mixed bag because I really liked the first one. I thought it was good, not as good as the first or second Jurassic Park films, but definitely better than Jurassic Park 3. Now, according to Screen Rant, Jurassic World Dominion is going to kind of return the series to its roots, and it's meant to serve as an ending to the series. In fact, their logo for the series is a minimal. Returns to the black background with the T-Rex skeleton, kind of in a silhouette format with a red background. They're returning to that look for it, which I think is great. I actually didn't mind the silver background that they used for Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I thought that was fine. I thought it looked nice. I did miss kind of the minimalist aspect of it. Anyway, neither here nor there. One of the interesting things about it is, of course, Chris Pratt. He is returning to play his character, as is Bryce Dallas Howard. She is returning to her role as well. But what is really cool is Jeff Goldblum will return as Ian Malcolm. Of course, he had a cameo appearance in Fallen Kingdom, which a lot of people were disappointed about. They thought, because the trailer relied so much on his scene, they thought he would have a larger role, and then it's just a cameo. And then, but here's the fun part: Sam Neill and Laura Dern will return to their roles as Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler, respectively. And one of the cool things about it is it's really cool that Colin Trevorrow is returning. I think he is a good director. Now, I haven't seen the Book of Henry, so people have said that that was the reason he was fired from the Star Wars sequel trilogy, because he was originally supposed to direct The Rise of Skywalker, but when he was directing it, it was called Duel of the Fates. That's what the original title was, and it was very different because he didn't know that Rian Johnson was going to take over the middle and screw everything up. So he totally wrecked everything. Rian Johnson totally ruined everything. Ruin Johnson, that's his new nickname, and totally destroyed it, made it way worse. And so Colin Trevorrow was fired from the production because he wouldn't stop bad mouthing Rian Johnson. What's interesting is I've been hearing rumors, and granted, this is coming from leaks from people claiming to be like grips and extras and stuff like that. But one of the interesting things about the Star Wars is apparently the cast did not like Rian Johnson and talked really bad about him whenever they were filming The Rise of Skywalker, so much so that producers threatened to dock their pay because they didn't want stuff to leak out. Anyway, back to Jurassic World sequel. I think this is good. According to Colin Trevorrow, this third film will just be kind of like an ending for it. It'll for the whole series. So they're saying this will be the last Jurassic World movie. I don't think that's smart. I think having two trilogies, to me, I didn't mind a sequel trilogy to Jurassic Park. I didn't like how when they were talking about Jurassic Park 4, I didn't like the direction that movie was going, where they were going to do like these cybernetic velociraptors, and they did adapt a little bit of that for the first Jurassic World. They did kind of transfer some of that story arc, but to me, it wasn't to the point where it was in the uncanny valley almost. You know what I mean? Not in this case, story wise, not how a character looks wise. So I honestly think that this returning to form for Jurassic World is going to be really good. I think it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. I truly am. Hopefully, the coronavirus won't kill us all before then. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to follow me everywhere on social media. YouTube is StudioJake. Facebook is author Jacob Airy. You can find me on Parler, on Twitter, on Instagram, at Real Jacob Airy. Of course, head over to my blog, jacobairy.blog, where I have even more stuff. I have movie reviews. I've got entertainment news. I recommend novels that I'm reading. I don't really do book reviews anymore because I'm a writer now. So I just recommend stuff that I'm reading, so you know what's good and what's there is to like about it. Also, head over to Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Walmart.com, Apple Books, or even Kobo, and you can find my novel. It's a fantasy novel, The Seven Royals, All Good Things, the first part of a trilogy. Head over there, get yourself a copy, but especially head to booklocker.com because you can buy it directly from my publisher. Head over there and pick it up. You're going to love it. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time right here on Studio Jake.